Do you support Donald Trump?
I think he was a better option than what was currently available.
Okay, so like you would, if you could go back in time, vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris?
Yep.
Why is that?
Because I feel like the voting Kamala Harris would have just promoted keeping the status quo, which doesn't help at all because I've only suffered under Democratic presidents. They haven't done anything for me. You look back at Obama's policy, like, yes, he was more politically savvy than Trump is in terms of like the typical political look in terms of diplomacy and whatnot. But when it comes to actual policies that were done, like outside of like the Affordable Care Act, which was a version compared to the public option that was promised during his campaign, I like
Because
it wasn't
Republicans
that great.
won't vote for healthcare policy. So why are you voting for a Republican that
It
had
wasn't even
concepts of
put up for
plan
a
for
vote. The
healthcare?
Democrats had a super majority in the Congress and Senate when Obama was in president his first term, didn't he?
So you're saying that
First two
you're
years.
saying they had enough votes to pass a public option?
Yes, they had a super majority
Really?
the first 2 years of Obama's term,
Wait, so a super majority. What's a super majority?
where they can't get filibustered unless a Democrat of their own party votes against it. They could have passed anything they wanted. They had enough
Wait,
votes.
oh, so it relies on the Democrats in the party. And did every Democrat in the party specifically support the public option to that degree?
Well, I mean, I thought we got something else, right? We were promised a public option,
Answer
and
the
we
question.
got ACA.
Answer the question. Did every Democrat specifically support that public option?
No, because they're all
Okay,
corrupt,
so
right?
then, oh, okay. They can't all be corrupt if a huge portion of them voted for it. So can you
But
please?
was it a huge portion? They wouldn't even
Yes,
allow it
it
to
was an
come
over.
on the bill. It wasn't even added as an
Wait,
option,
listen.
dude.
Practically every single one voted, right? Voted for it, right? It was very few specifically that wouldn't, right? If we want to reference like the public option, again, you have to acknowledge like
What?
the
But think
actual.
about it. Think about
Can
it.
I
Like,
please
why
finish?
couldn't Obama do what Trump did? Like, Trump forces his Republican senators and to do his bidding, right? Why couldn't Obama browbeat his own a few senators and congressmen to get the whatever votes he needed?
Yeah, so it is the case that we could obviously want like Democrats to push even harder, but that doesn't mean that these Democrats would have changed, right? In terms of the way that they voted, we just need to get the Democrats to change based upon the voter base, right? Effectively voting in new people, in which it is the case that support that policy. You can't just like not look at it that way. They obviously supported the policy; they just couldn't get it done, right? Because of the implications in Congress. You can't say that because there are implications in Congress that limit them from getting it passed. That means that they don't support it and they're, i.e., just corrupted, like every single one.
Yeah, but in the real world, what does it equate to us for? The Affordable Care Act, like my
Like,
parents were self-employed.
do you want me to go over policies specifically that the wait? Actually, let's just talk about this. Do you acknowledge that the big beautiful bill is a bad bill?
It has a bunch of flaws, I admit. There are some things I don't like about it.
Okay, it cuts over 10 million people off of their health insurance through Medicaid, and it also cuts 2.5 million people off their food stamps every month on average. Do you think that's good policy?
Uh, Not the best. I think I
Do you think
I
Kamala
would
Harris would
have,
have done that?
to be honest, not really. She would have kept the status quo.
So the status quo would have been better what we have right now than what. So the status quo itself would be better than what we have right now, and you want to go worse?
I was gambling on actual change doing something
Like
because
what
if we keep the
change?
status
What
quo,
specific change?
I guess in terms of just, I guess how would I put this? I guess I didn't want whatever was being dished up for the past God knows how many years.
Okay, no. So then, what policy of Trump's do you support? What do you think he was going to change in the positive light?
Well, I knew he would close the border in terms of uncontrolled immigration. I know Biden pulled it off near the end of his term, but like it was uncontrolled for 3 of his years, right?
I think immigration is fantastic.
Oh, I think so too, but you gotta admit it was not. it was different than Clinton's presidency and Obama's presidency for immigration versus Biden's. It was a bit
I
uncontrolled.
want more immigration because it is the case that it helps grow our economy. It's great.
Yeah,
The
do it
immigration
by
surge that
opening
happened
up
under the
and
Biden
hiring
Harris
more
administration.
lawyers and hiring more people to
Yeah.
influence that immigration process. Why did you just open the border, keep everything the same? It was uncontrolled.
That way, by the way, that's not what Biden did, right? That was specifically the backlog of people that would have come under the context of the pandemic, right? Secondly, it is the case that if you want to reference the economic insecurity that existed around the world due to global inflation and pandemic-related economic circumstances.
I guess. Oh, what do you mean? Can you further expand on that? Where are you going with that?
Yeah, I'm just saying that there are things outside of the context of stuff that he could have caused, right? That Biden could have influenced that led to there being more people coming to the country. But by the way, more people coming to the country isn't a bad thing. I actually think that that's a good thing, and it benefits us.
Yeah, but to be honest, like it wasn't good, right? It wasn't a
It was
great look
great.
because really, like the fact that we were wasting hundreds of $1 millions on immigrants, but not our own homeless population, that makes
Hundreds
no
of
sense.
million, immigrants coming to the country, they provide more money into the economy, in which gives us the ability to pay for different types of systems. You know that, right? The economic increase due to the immigration surge under the Biden Harris administration would exceed to around $8.9 trillion by 2034. That heavily increases our ability to pay for, right, different types of programs that provides
So we
more
could
money
just
into
keep
our
tax
economy.
cuts for billionaires. I know Trump gives more tax
Get
cuts.
rid of the tax cuts for billionaires and millionaires. Let's actually use that money to benefit people in need instead of giving massive
I
tax breaks to
like
millionaires
that.
and billionaires.
I wouldn't mind that, but let's be honest here. As long as Democrats and both at this point, both Democrats and Republicans, but didn't Biden pretty much keep almost the same level as the tax cuts when he entered office with Trump as Trump's?
They didn't vote on a specific tax plan. That would be Congress that votes on that. If you want to,
What was
but
it like?
there were some changes due to COVID emergency policy through the American Rescue Plan, which when implemented reduced childhood poverty by 45%, which is another policy that Kamala Harris wanted to bring back through the child tax credit.
I thought didn't both of them offer some kind of child tax credit? I thought Trump did too.
Increase even more than what Trump is doing. Trump through the bill, the big beautiful bill, and the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act changed it from 1,000 to 2,000. They wanted to do
Yeah.
3,600 through them being 5 years old, 3,000 through them being 18, and $6,000 for the first year of a child's life.
My question is, would have it passed like that too? Like that's just a big assumption that that would have been allowed. It's like Obama's public option turning into the ACA. Wouldn't that? That's a big assumption that it would just go through as if for that high of
Wait,
an
wait,
amount.
we're saying what they were advocating for, and you have to consistently get more people to support that type of policy if you want there to be effective change in this country. If you consistently support Republican presidents like Donald Trump who have gutted these particular programs, how can you expect them to be so progressive and have so many of these different qualities in which are going to be left wing? By the way, the Kamala Harris literally passed, right, by tie-breaking vote the Inflation Reduction Act, which was the largest investment in renewable energy ever and had the $35 capital insulin for people on Medicaid or Medicare. You understand that that was like
There,
transformative policy, right?
it's you do realize that a lot of the Affordable Care Act, like, wasn't a lot of the infrastructure part, like mimicking Australia's model where they were trying to corporatize a lot of the public industries, and basically Australia reversed it because it was a really bad policy,
What are
from
you what
whatever.
I don't know what specific provisions within what policy you're referencing.
All right, I have to look it up. To be honest, I haven't brushed up on it in a while, but I thought it would have to do with it had to do with utilities and whatnot. It's part of the electrical system, but forget that. I don't know, and I don't remember enough to actually debate on that.
Okay, so again, if you do you want the left do you want there to be more left-wing economic policy?
I feel like, it, yeah, I do, but I don't think the
Then
left
why
ever
the hell
delivers
do
on
you
it
support Trump?
because it was different than being lied to every single election.
And you think Donald Trump is going to lie to you less? That is actually
At least I
insane.
know up
That
front
is
that it's a
that
lie.
is an insane take. I'm sorry. If you think that Donald Trump is going to lie to you less, then I'm sorry, but you're lost. Are you
No, I
serious?
didn't say he would lie less. You misheard me. I said at least he'll
So
be
you
upfront. At
He's
least
not.
I mean,
He'll
at
be
least it'll be
upfront with
obvious.
lying. What the hell does that mean?
I mean, at
What the
least it
hell
will
does
be
it mean to be
obvious.
upfront with lying? What the
It
does
was
that mean?
obvious. You can tell when he's lying. It's pretty.
You
It's
wait.
pretty.
I'm sorry. You should be able to tell when someone's lying in either circumstance, right? If we have to, if we're trying, how about this? If we want us to not be lied to, is wait actually, if we're lied to more, won't there be more lies, and it would be harder for us to be able to catch every single lie?
What I'm saying is, when a Democrat lies, it's more believable. But with Trump, it's pretty obvious that
What,
he's
dude? Come
lying.
on, Al Valentine. Think of the
It,
$5. Okay, this is a waste of my time. I'm serious. Like, I want you to critically think about what the hell we just talked about, and really thinking about like, do you think that voting for Republicans is going to lead to there being broader social safety nets that help people in need, or are they literally gutting the very systems you said that you supported? Like,
you know what? At this point, I'm just, you know, let me say it this way. Trump is doing the work I expect him to do in government. Enrich himself, fuck everybody else. It's just another politician in my mind.
why would you want that? That's like embarrassing that you want that for the country. I'm sorry. Are you willing to just like over the entire country for no reason?
Not no reason, dude.
What do you mean no reason? Or of course it's no reason. What reason have you provided?
Well, I want to promote that. I guess, how would I put this?
He's gonna make the country worse. Therefore, I want him as president. What? Why would you want the worst candidate?
Maybe it'll get so
Do you even know
broken,
what
it'll
worse
fix
means?
itself.
Worse means it's less preferable. Why would you
Yeah, it's an
prefer?
accelerationist
Wait,
policy.
hold up. Yeah, okay.
Accelerationist
So,
policy.
yeah, you want to be accelerationist. So you're willing to harm marginalized communities for this thought in your head that it's possibly going to lead to a more progressive future. How did Trump getting elected in the very first place lead to that? That led to the country being
Didn't Trump
significantly more
getting
right
elected
wing.
help out the progressives? Haven't they
No.
been popular more so than any point in history?
You understand that if we had a progressive response specifically in the context of 2016, we would be significantly more left wing as a country right now,
Yeah,
comparative
but
to
we have
literally
people like
Donald Trump being
Schumer.
elected.
But don't we have people like Schumer, Clinton's, Obama's in power, like the traditional centrists? Like,
Yeah, you
what's the
voted for
difference
Trump.
between that and
You support Trump because you think it's going to lead to some progressive future. You have no good reason to believe that, and you're hurting every community you say you care about. Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why so?
Um, Partly because of his policies. He's a pro Israel, so that's important to me.
Do you support starving innocent Palestinian children?
I think that no one starves right now. I think the IPC criteria is overflowing. I think you made a statement which is a propaganda, and I think you are just right now utilizing a platform for a
So did
very
you say
horrible
no one
statement.
is
So
starving?
please retract yourself.
Did you say no one is
I
starving?
would. No, no, I didn't say that no one is starving. I didn't say that I support
So
starving children.
do you agree? Do you agree that Israel is starving Palestinian children?
No, I don't agree because there's a war
You don't
going
agree?
on.
So
Yeah.
wait, by the way, do you know what a war? Do you know that like it's a war crime to
What? You
starve
stutter.
a?
Why you stutter?
Do you think it's a war crime to starve innocent Palestinian children who are civilians?
If you can make a proof that that's happening, that's probably a war crime. Yes, it is.
It is. It has been proven. All right, it's been
Absolutely.
reported on by the entire
It's been proven.
international
Can you show your
community.
product? Yeah, prove it.
It's been literally proven by the entire international community that's indicating that Israel has been limiting aid from going into Gaza, not allowing enough food trucks, right, and different types of aid to go into the region
I see.
to
So
sustain the
IQ is the
population.
issue here. That's an IQ issue. So you quoting here the amount of a food trucks that getting into the intent, right? Can you show the intent, by the way, that there is an intent to starve them, as you previously mentioned right now?
If they don't allow enough food in order to be able to go into the region, in order to be able to feed the population that exists there, that is intentfully starving them.
Okay, so let's go back to that original point that they actually did allow it. The
Do,
problem was the distribution, not
not
the
true.
food. So yes,
Not
true,
true.
absolutely
You're
true.
like you're
No,
totally lying.
absolutely
That's
true.
propaganda. You think that children aren't being starved There's literally evidence that's been reported on by the international community indicating Israel is not allowing the aid into the region. Would you agree that that given that Israel is not allowing aid into the region, that you would not support that?
Once again, I fully support Israel right to defend itself. Support that Israel does provide humanitarian aid as much as they can. The issue is the distribution. The issue is not the food. We already know that United Nations sent basically the fund that was established by President Trump with an excellent idea to help the Gazans people to get rid of the age group that abuses and absolutely creates an issue for them. Is to help them out. But unfortunately, it's United Nations propaganda. The New York Times, for example, came out with retractions that they make. The
You have to
propaganda
respond
that
to my question. Are you going to respond to my question ever?
Yeah, what is your question again? Okay. So I'm responding to a question. I think enough food is coming in. Absolutely enough food. If we have to look at the United Nations amount of tons of food.
Given that Israel is restricting the food, would you say that you wouldn't support that?
Israel is not restricting the food. Israel providing the food with the basic capabilities. Can you show me the evidence Israel restricting the food? I don't understand that question. Israel is a...
I will repeat again. Given that this is the case, would you stop supporting them?
No, I would not stop supporting them.
So even if you knew that they were committing war crimes and starving innocent Palestinian children, you'd still support them?
Okay, let's repeat that again. I would absolutely not agree that Israel would starve Palestinian children.
I'm saying, given that this is, dude, is it impossible for you to answer a question? Given that was the case, would you stop supporting them?
Yes, if it's equivocally proven that Israel intentionally starved Palestinian children, yes, I will start supporting them. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Including the idea.
Okay.
And by the way, if you prove there's a genocide in Gaza, I will equivocally start supporting them. But this is a legal term that everyone has to apply. Has to
yeah.
go to the
So
courts
can you go to AP News? Israel has cut off all supplies to Gaza.
So, okay.
That's literally the title. Look
Okay, great. So what's next? I believe you. What's next? What's your point?
Wait, so you agree that you don't support them anymore, right?
No, I don't. This is a war zone. Do you heard about the war zone? Have you served the military?
Wait, so
based on your looks, doesn't look like you did.
Can you say free Palestine?
Free Palestine. Sure, Palestine is not free, but I would say free Palestine from Hamas. Absolutely, yes.
Of course. So, can you say free Palestine from Israel? Because they're currently mass starving, but they're currently starving Palestinians.
I think right now you're spitting propaganda, and that's very disingenuous.
That's not propaganda. I gave you a source from AP News.
You gave me a source.
The title is Israel's cut off all supplies to Gaza.
Okay, I can give you a source, for example, that says that there is a propaganda in Israel, and that's not true. And I can actually give you a source that
AP News is just lying.
There are many news that are lying. Yeah, but did Washington Post was lying?
Wait, can you give me a single source indicating that this is all just lies?
Yes, I can give you a source. For example, Washington Post posted an image of a baby that was genetic disease.
No,
I'm
asking you for a source. I'm asking you for a source that indicates that they are sending in food into the region. What's the name? A single source indicating that? Because I just gave you a reliable source from AP News.
Okay. So would you like a sources from United Nations that states that Israel sends the amount of food? I can Google it for you. Is that okay?
Wait,
United Nations. So would you expect, if you don't want the Kogat sources, which is an Israeli sources of an Israeli military, would you actually accept United Nations documents of amount of tons of food that they calculated that entered Gaza right now? Would you accept that and concede your point?
Say that one more time.
If I provide the source from United Nations, are you deaf, brother? Like, I don't understand.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Like, it's incredibly important to say, right? You understand that like the mic cut out and there were issues with like the reception in terms of the microphone.
Oh, the
right?
issues with the
microphone. I don't know why you're so pissed off. I don't know who hurt you, right? You understand that was just an issue with the microphone. You're getting mad for no reason. He just left and ran away because I literally just said, "Can you repeat what you said?" Because it cut out.